course, Beringer's in there. Raw prospects, amazing physical gifts. 6'11", 230 pounds, 7'5" wingspan. While a lot of people have made the comparison to Joakim Noah to Asa Newell, I can easily see Beringer being the player that fits that Joakim Noah mold. And that means out into him figuring out his mid-range game as he goes in to his NBA career. I see that. He's very raw. Like Noah came in, as far as for being in college as long as he was a little bit more polished product, even though he didn't play a lot his rookie year. But I look at Beringer here as the player that really can kind of fit that mold. I think he can guard multiple positions with his length, combination of size and speed as well. He's going to shape up to be that multi-positional defender, that switchable defender that the Bulls really do need with the bigs, with Kobe White and Josh Giddey being your backcourt. So that's something that's coming in there as well. But also a name that's popped up as well is Thomas Sorber. Now, Thomas Sorber is one that we've talked a lot about, right? 7'6" wingspan, only 6'9", though. Very high basketball IQ, really good passer, over 2 blocks per game, really good on-ball defense without fouling. But you guys already know Thomas Sorber is somebody that I've talked a lot about here because he is one of my favorite prospects for the Bulls, absolutely at number 12. I think he could do a lot of what the Bulls need. Now, he doesn't bring everything, but I think he brings a lot of what the Bulls need as well. Now, Derek Queen and Danny Wolf. Danny Wolf, somebody that popped up that the Bulls did work out. And we've talked about Danny Wolf. Offensively, he brings just about everything you need. Better passer, though. I do think he's more active defensively than what Vooch has ever have been. He has a similar offensive kind of makeup to Vooch while being a better passer and those type of things. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Danny Wolf in that case. Derek Queen is somebody that Casey Johnson likes. And Casey Johnson talks a lot about the fact that he likes Derek Queen. He talks glowingly about Derek Queen and the offense that he can bring, how that compare with what they have here. But it seems like the Bulls, though, are a team that's not necessarily as in on Derek Queen, and that, they don't really have him high on their board, if on their board at all. Now, this one comes from Giovanni, who says this: Coward is one of the highest risers of this year's pre-draft process and is reportedly getting a long look from the Bulls, as well as the Suns and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, that's the latest that we've heard on that. We talked about that a little bit over the weekend, that the Bulls did have their eyes on Cedric Coward. Doesn't mean that they're going to draft Cedric Coward. It just means that he may have their interest. I do think Cedric fits the kind of mold of the players that the Bulls have drafted, that AK has drafted. It still has upside, even though he's a little bit older of a prospect for sure. But you got guys that are in similar modes to like a Drake Powell and things like that. But I think a lot of teams are eyeing Cedric Coward. Now, with the Suns now picking at number 10, do they take him before he even gets a chance to go to the Bulls? That's the question there.